Sega.
Hello everyone, this is Ultimu on a solo run this time. I've decided to do something different from the norm today in honor of Phantasy Star Online 2 being released in Japan. It'll be like a combination tutorial. Let's play. Oh god, I need another drink. Alright, so let's familiarize everyone with what the hell PSO is. The Sega Genesis had a series back in the day called Phantasy Star. After 4 games there and various lesser-known ones on other platforms, they released the original Phantasy Star Online in 2001. Memories. For the time, it was quite innovative in that it was an MMO on a console using dial-up. Yeah, remember that? Anyway, with the game came 3 races and 3 classes. You had your humans, Newmans, and Cats, and then your hunters, forces, and rangers. To explain further, humans were good at beating things up and made good hunters, your bashy-slicey class of the game. Newmans were like elves and excelled at blowing shit up with their minds, making good forces, the mage class. Finally, the cast robot race could pop the caps so well that they made good rangers, the ranged class of the game. Race and class were interchangeable except for casts not having souls and thusly being unable to use magic. Now, that restriction has been removed, so now any race really can be anything. You're all probably getting sick of the history lesson though, so let me move on to the game itself. And with that, let's log ourselves in. I am currently playing on Ship 2, basically that's where everybody who speaks English is going, if they can. I'm pretty sure that they've released the account lock on it. For a little while, you couldn't make new accounts on the ship because it's getting so overpopulated. Anyway, passy the word, and let's get in. So, at the moment, I am playing Ultimu. He's the Newman Force, because Force is best pony. But no, seriously, I like blowing shit up for high amounts of damage. Alrighty. So that should be the basics of, history and all that. So let me go with the basics of what you see on the screen here. Alrighty. Where is my mouse pointer? There you are. Alright. So over here you've got your HP, which is obviously HP, but more importantly, here's my PP. My PP is very important in this game. I'll show you why later. I'm also 5. At the bottom are the, actually, let me back it up here. At the bottom there, kind of in the middle of the screen, you've got your sub-slots, or the sub-palette as I like to call it. And the weapon's kind of sitting there in the middle. I've got skills assigned to the weapon, which I'll go into later. Pushing escape, like I did before, brings up the main menu with icons that give you an idea of what you're doing in said menus. Kind of since everything's written in moon runes right now. Of course, I'll only go over the basics since there's blogs and wikis out there that go into far more detail than I care to. Alright, so we got the first icon here. That's the inventory. It's got 4 sub-menus here, like you can see. At least for me, because I've done a quest for something that I'll go for in a bit. Anyway, first is the actual inventory. From there, you can click items to use them, such as these right here. Or, honestly, if you really need to go in the sub-menu to use your healing items, you can. If you can't use them, however, you can come over here and click this first option to store them in your bank. You could do that anywhere, which is amazingly useful, considering how quickly you can fill the 50 slots in your bag. Alright, next is my favorite sub-menu. It's kind of all-in-one equipment manager. The Japanese on the left is for various other menus, like dealing with your weapons, your armor slots, and your sub-palette. The latter two are self-explanatory, but the first has even more tabs for different aspects on your weapons. So basically, I can come in here, throw drag a weapon over here in any of these 3 slots, and then I can come over and say it's a physical attack weapon. I can put photon arts on these, or I can switch out my different spells and throw those on there as well. Anyway, the spells in this game are actually known as techs, short for techniques. And you can either get those in discs that drop from enemies, or you can also get them at the NPC shops or player shops as well. Alright, the third sub-menu, you get this from a quest that you do for one of the NPCs. And this gets you a nice little device called a mag. Now mags, they're small artificial life forms that can be fed pretty much any item so far as I know. It can also do various things like buff or heal you, and it evolves from eating enough items. So once it does that, it gains a special attack that can be unleashed after killing enough enemies or taking enough damage. In addition, the levels it gains from being fed also increase your stats even further, which I am so glad they brought back from PSO1. The Phantasy Star Universe series, it kind of removed mags except to make them a range attack weapon, and oh my god, they sucked. But yeah, over here you can see that I've got 23 levels in my tech attack, 9 levels in the ability stat, which, again, the wikis will tell you what those are. Alright, so next to the backpack icon, you've got your weapon and armor sub stuff here, which I really don't know why you'd use this menu or this one unless you really just have a thing for that. However, the more important one to me at least is setting stuff up on your sub slots here. I don't know if you can do this on the other menu. You probably can, but I haven't figured out how to make it work yet. I'm probably not trying hard enough. Alright. So next you've got your friend list, things like that. What I'm guessing is some kind of social icon for chat logs and all that. But the one that really matters is the quest icon. There's 2 types in the game. One is known as the matter board up top here. And that's is basically a bunch of glowing orbs that you complete different quests on. You get different like nice items. Sometimes, like if you complete the glowing ones here, the orange ones, you can advance the storyline as well. The other type of quest is called if I can get back to it, client order. And these are basically given out from all the NPCs in the area. They can do they can be anything from fetch quests to kill enemy quests to observe a weather pattern, or even take, say, your lowest rank weapon, lowest tier weapon for your character class, and go through an entire mission using just that weapon. So all these basically help keep PSO2 from being a gigantic grind fest, which is quite nice. Anyway, that should be enough for the menus. I'll be posting links in the video description to places with information about the game, including how to register on the Japanese server. I also go running around to show off the ship, but I can either do that in a later video, or go into more detail with a video of its own. Comment and tell me if you'd like that. For now, let's actually do what we should do, and let's play the game. To do so, I need to select a quest from this NPC over here, which I'm going to do right now. Alright. These quests have an objective, but they aren't honestly quests in my opinion. They're more of a means to just get you where you need to go to kill things, which that's kind of the point of an MMO, isn't it? So, let me get that queued up. Believe me, I've memorized this stuff. I don't need to be able to read it. Alright. So, let's go ahead and head on to where we need to go, which is the dropship. Ooh, tunnely background. Follow my cursor. Alright, so what we're going to do in here is we're going to explain a few things in the dropship. You probably briefly saw it in the intro video, but I really doubt they showed off all these terminals. Alright, first off, over in that corner, we've got the quest terminal, in case you need to make a change to your party or your quest on the fly. It comes in handy a lot more than you think. Next, we've got the bank. Now, the first menu is for the bank, which I'll show you now. You can put your stuff away in here, withdraw it, your prerogative. However, this is, terminals like these are, in fact, the only place where you can actually withdraw weapons, items, or whatever. Okay. Anyway, I don't really know what the other menus in there do. All I know is what the first one does. So let's get my mouse to work correctly and come on over to the shop. You can buy or sell items here, you know, just in case you didn't do it in the main lobby, which I'm going to go ahead and sell some things right now because I really don't need all this. That should be enough. Okay. I really don't, again, I don't know what the other sub-menus here do. I imagine they have some kind of function, but whatever. So, next, we're going to go to the NPC counter. Now here, you can sit here and take your computer-generated buddies along with you. And if they end up liking you enough, sometimes they'll give you, say, techs or photon arts, depending on how many times you've taken them with you on missions. So I'm going to take the one that's going to give me a kick-ass light-based tech later. And last but not least, we have the ever-so-handy buff counter. And thank you, NPC, for buffing me up there. We're not down there yet, but we will be. We will be. Alright, so essentially you can do quests to give you these buff drinks. And they last for, I believe, the entire length of quest, if I'm not mistaken. Now, what we're going to get is the Shifta drink. Shifta drink. And that boosts physical and magic attack. So, I'll be getting the second level of that for great injustice toward forest creatures. Oh, a little side note about this. In addition to getting your main buff there, you can also get a secondary buff with it if you're lucky. Sometimes it reduces damage. Sometimes it makes certain meteors feel faster. And sometimes it even reduces the cost in PP that things cost to cast. Alright. Well, I am going to take a quick break here to set a few things up before I go down and manage my inventory. So I will be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. Now, as much as I'd like to go into my different techniques, I'll only be using a few that I have set to my weapon here. Now, in a nutshell, techniques have their own special elemental names and come in 3 types per element. Each type has a different effect, such as single targeting enemy, doing damage in a line, or for a large distance, or even doing AoE damage. The ones I'll be using are Rafoi, the 3rd type of oh, excuse me, wrong weapon. I guess I'll explain this real quick. It's another sub-palette that you can quick swap weapons with, which can come in quite handy. Alright, let's try that again. Where was I? Oh yes, I'm going to be using Rafoi. It's the 3rd type of fire attack, and what it does is it does this big explosion for AoE damage, depending on where you're facing. Yay, 3rd person mode. Great addition, Sega. I love you for doing this. We did not have this in PSO. PSO had an automatic targeting system that was kind of in this camera perspective, and it sucked. Anyway, let's see. Next, I'll also be using Grants, which is a light-based attack. And then, lastly, we've got Shifta, and this is the healing light-based buff thing. Down my sub-menu there, I've also got Anti, which is a status here. We've got Shifta for increasing our attack, and D-Band. That nice little D-Band right there boosts your defense. I don't know how much it boosted by because I rarely use it. Now, number 5 there, well, we'll just get to that later. That's, well, actually, I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. It's a Photon Blast, which, mags, I believe I mentioned that they get those after they evolve, and they can do all kinds of things from attacking to giving you really, really, really nice buffs and things. Anyway, now to make things go boom! So, welcome to the Ever-Free Forest. Actually, this is just a free forest. You get this after completing some quests for a particular NPC. How's it different from other forest quests? There's no specific goal or timer, and field events seem to happen more often down here. Oh, I didn't mention those. Did I? No. I'll find one and explain them then. Anyway, the last benefit is that you get a guaranteed boss fight at the end, which are fun as hell to fight most times. Alright, so let's go find our first victim. I mean, enemy. And let me not actually try to heal him, but attack him instead. Hi. Bye. Bye. Explodes so well. And they bake even better. Okay, well, one thing I enjoy a lot about PSO2 is how the combat has evolved into a Monster Hunter type system. It used to be that Photon Arts didn't exist, and that weapons came with a normal, heavy, and special attack. You could do a 3-hit timed combo, and then, since the system would break the combo to give the enemy a chance to retaliate, since movement and hitboxes could easily make characters get stuck on each other if you weren't careful, it sucked. Now, though, you can freely do timed combos as much as you like to keep enemies in lockdown, and do extra damage when you time it correctly. Or you can just spam the shit out of a button and get trapped. Anyway, you can also spam the shit out of a button for continuous attacks, like this. However, that usually gives enemies a chance to retaliate. So, just to reiterate... Yep. Let me find an enemy I can wail on here. Without the other forces' interference. Hello, Donkey Kong. And the ever-annoying birds, which can easily be dispatched with an explosion under their asses. Alright, anyway, like I was saying, you can spam the shit out of a button if you really need quick hits. But enemy AIs have evolved a crap ton too, to the point where you can find them attacking from behind if you aren't paying attention. They can actually anticipate your attacks, like they can dodge from side to side, and really overall be a bitch to kill sometimes. Alright, let's find some more squishies here. Now, excuse me, they can be a bitch to kill sometimes unless you have explosions. Nothing escapes explosions. Get up. I'm gonna puff fireball up your ass. Beat you, bitch. Okay. So let's see. Another good addition is the dodging system. It was introduced in a rudimentary form in both Phantasy Star Portable 2 for PSP and Phantasy Star Zero for the DS. It works hundreds of times better here, especially for forces. I can become invincible and even direct where I'm going to land to an extent, meaning I can not only dodge, but put myself in a position to counterattack like mad. You know, when I have enemies to kill. Let me give you an example. Hello, boosted bird. Any enemies that have, say, some kind of blob on them or whatever the hell this shit is, they have been boosted and they are extremely good for your experience bar. Basically, they have more HP and I think they can attack harder. That's about it though. Monkey! Mommy, I want a monkey. Give me a monkey right now! I don't know where my mother is. Okay. So, I'm sure by now you've probably seen some of the pickups, so let me go into those just a bit. Actually, let me head toward the exits to this area as well. So the yellow diamond things are Meseta, the currency for the game. Weapons pop up in their own color according to classes. Orange is for hunters, blue is for rangers, and yellow for forces. Now, one big addition is that it also displays what you're getting as opposed to just displaying a name in a color-coded box. Kind of like the other older Phantasy Star games used to do. If you see any purple items, the same goes for them. Those are just armor units, which most classes can equip, period. It used to be that you had to have armor with slots on it to be able to equip them, but they've done away with that. You get a standard 3 slots, and, well, you gotta get really good at dodging if you don't have enough defense. But, quite honestly, dodging isn't really that hard in this game. So, each of the planets that you're going to encounter in the game has its own set of life forms. For instance, here we see the monkeys, and a trap that was up there apparently. We see monkeys. We see the bigger monkey, Donkey Kong. Let's see, there's also really fucking annoying birds. Now there are, I don't think we've seen any yet, but there's also wolves. And then there's big bad wolves. And lastly, oh no, not lastly. The little yellow birds that make peeping sounds that you've probably seen. Wolves and big bad wolves. I don't know what their actual names are. Well, I do, but I don't like using them. Because they're going to change when it comes to English. Anyway, the little peeping yellow birds that play dead and then get back up, those are Ragrappies. The benefit of waiting for them to get back up is that you can attack them again and get a nice shiny item for doing that. Honestly, the items are usually crap though. So I've kind of given up on that. Now if you see ones that look extremely detailed, really feathery, they might actually be singing instead of just peeping. Those ones... Hello. Those ones give you special items. Those are known as grinders, and what they do is they can actually boost the level of your weapon by a little bit. If they're successful, anyway. Alrighty. So, I said earlier I'd be talking about my PP. Now, some would say it stands for power points, but everything in Phantasy Star Online revolves around photons, so they can probably just be called photon points, but I'm still going to call them PP. Now, they function like mana, but they're more like stamina in a sense. Basically, you can continually use it up, but like stamina, oh my. Let's postpone that. Emergency codes. These are the events that can pop up in the field, and they are quite nice because they really can just throw things out of whack, just interrupt your usual rhythm, but in a good way. So this one, I don't exactly know where it is, so I'm going to try to find that. And I'll probably cut back to it when I do. It may just be over here, though. Okay, I found it. It started to show up on my map. And about 2 more emergency events decided to happen on the way here. And they're probably currently active. Okay, make that 3 more decided to happen on the way here. This particular event is known as the Code Destruction. There is this giant-ass blob of I don't even know what, but you have to do as much damage to it as possible and just essentially bully shit out of it. Now, to continue what I was talking about earlier with my PP, since I continually abused it, after a while, I won't be able to cast spells. So instead, I can just beat the shit out of things, get it back a lot faster. You know, unless the things die, in which case, well, good for them. Oh yeah, so the way it's like stamina is that, as you can see, it does restore over time very quickly. And, oh my god, is this another one? What is this? Where is it? Oh shit. This is a Code of Void, and it's kind of hard. Basically, that thing flies all over the freaking place, and will try to knock your ass over. If it does it 3 times, or if you die, and actually I think it's just 3 times, and this also counts for the other players that are in the area. If anybody gets touched 3 times and you automatically fail it. Oh yeah, somebody else apparently finished one of my quest things over there. But the easiest way to do this is just keep dodging. Either that, or you can go back up to the ship. However, I'm going to keep dodging because I don't want to fail this. So, since you're not stuck watching this for the next 2 minutes or so, I'm going to cut it out. Alrighty, and we're back. It looks like, I believe we made it? Did we? Nope, apparently we got hit enough times for it to not count. Even though it kind of stayed down here enough for enough time for it to be annoying. Okay, well, anyway. So back to the PP again. You can still, even as a force, do decent damage just by whacking things with your mighty rod. Well, what? It's still better than calling the main threat in your game C. I'm looking at you, Phantasy Star Universe. And if you'll excuse me, I need to pause for just a second. Alright. Well, while we're here and everything, let's go ahead and finish this off, because I've kind of shown off what I wanted to. Well, not yet. Let's go ahead and grab a few items. I'll explain a little bit more on the icons that I've got here. Like the thing I just picked up was called a Talus. You'll notice it was yellow, another force weapon. It's basically the other weapon for forces right now, in that it, you can attack from a range with it. In fact, I've got one, I'll just show it off. So I can sit here and attack from range, but you can also use this to do kind of trick shots. So you've got something that, some spell that goes in a line, and there's an enemy behind something like this. You can shoot it there, start charging up your spell, and wherever your targeting reticle is pointing at the moment, that's where the spell will fly to. So you can, like I said, do some pretty tricky shots. Also, some spells like the lightning spell do a lot more damage, or are a lot more useful if you're shooting them from a height like this. Their range is a lot more useful. Anyway, though, I still prefer my giant rod. Hee. Okay, so let's go kill off Donkey Kong. Wait, I didn't say Donkey Kong, did I? After we kill off these. Rolly Polies! I forgot these were here. They're so much fun. They're pretty armored, even though I'm doing quite a bit of damage to them. But if you can get them to run into stuff like that, you get the weak point. Everything must die to my flaming flames. I'm such a literary mind. No! Can't dodge fast enough. There we go. Anybody else? There's plenty of others, including yet another one of you. Phantasy Star Online 2 seems to like to do this, where they just put a whole bunch of enemies, just one after the other, especially these ones. Somebody leveled it. Yay for them. Woof. Woof, I require your death. And I'm going to buff myself. Oh, what I do like about the buffs is that the drink as well as your just regular buffs stack. So you can even do quite a bit of damage if you get both of them on you. But now I am pretty certain we are ready to face the boss of the area. Okay. Let's go. Oh yeah, I kind of neglected to mention jumping. We didn't have that in Phantasy Star Online. That's a very, very new addition, and for some classes it's extremely useful. For instance, you can jump and attack in the air, and if you time it right, like I'm neglecting to do, you can do a bunch of attacks before you hit the ground. Similarly, you can also charge and cast your spells while you're in the air. Text, excuse me. And we have ourselves a healing rig, which is useful. And the boss teleporter. Alright. At long last, we face the mighty Rocky Kong. This is Donkey Kong's retarded and less famous brother. His best attack is to try and fall on you, but throw explosives in your face and you'll go down like your mother. Aw, yeah. Yes, his face is the weak point. His face is full of rocks because he kind of uses it to attack the ground. And you. And I am just failing at predicting his pattern today. He can be slightly unpredictable, especially if you're trying to get in close, which I shouldn't be doing. But the nice thing is that I can show off my Photon Blast finally. Haha. So what my Photon Blast does in particular is give me a crapload of PP to use in a very short amount of time. So I can just keep attacking and attacking and attacking without having to worry about running up and attacking him. Now some of you might have said, hey, you should have used that earlier in the fight. Well, I don't care. And huzzah! I win. If you want to win too, you should totally follow my links in the video comments. We can win together. Anyway, I hope this wasn't too much of a snore fest. If it was, go find some sugar so you can stay awake, then watch the whole video again, and then write me a book report on it. Don't question me! Well, with that, this has been Ultimate, and I'll see you guys back in my LPs. Later.